Hey there guys, EctoMaster here. It is Heroes Tuesday and we are back with another edition of a Hero Spotlight. Now this is a dual Hero Spotlight because it is Cho and Gall that we're going to be looking at. So, this is how it's going to break down. We're going to take a look at the skins. We're going to take a look at the abilities for Cho. We'll take a look at the abilities, the talents, and go over a build. Then we'll switch to Gall, take a look at his abilities, and then his talents with a build. So, because the skins apply to both of them. Now, what's interesting to note in this is that since you do need 2 players to play the game, as Cho'Gall, the hero, should I say, each of you both pick a skin, each of you both pick a mount. One will get the skin, one will get the mount. So, for example, the skins. This is the base skin. Let's say you both have the base skin. One picks the starter, one picks the second. There you go. That's what it looks like. Then you know, say I was playing Cho and Sasquatch was playing Gall, and he chose the base skin. Go back. And I chose the second base skin. I don't have it, but if I did, then one of us would get that. Mount-wise, we could pick whatever mount. If you have the horse, he carries the horse, but I don't know, I'm not sure about the others, so. Oh, carried. Horse carried, so. I don't think there's any others that will do it. Yep. Malthael's Phantom will be carried. The Nexus Charger is carried. The Judgment Charger is carried. What about the, yep. Even the, Headless Horseman is carried. So, you pick one and then one gets it, the other one doesn't. So, there you have it. So that's it. We saw his base skins. Here is his master skin, which you have to be level 10 to unlock. And from the looks of it, it looks like, they went with the typical, well, no, that one's a little different. And then there's, Corruptor Cho'Gall. So, member of the Twilight's Hammer. There you go. Alright. So, Cho's abilities. Cho is the melee warrior. And so, he is the tank side. So, not only is he the melee warrior, but in the end, he is the one that is being controlled. So, whoever is playing Cho is the one that is controlling. So, his Q, W, and E. Q is Surging Fist, has a 13-second cooldown. Wind up for at least 1 second, temporarily slowing yourself. Then reactivate to charge in a direction. Enemies in your path are knocked aside and take X damage. Consuming Blaze, it's a 12-second cooldown. Ignite nearby enemies, dealing 134 damage, or X damage over 4 seconds. Lost it. If this hits an enemy, gains X health over 4 seconds. Then Room Bomb, that's a 8-second cooldown. Roll a bomb dealing X damage to enemies in its path. Gall can use a Runic Blast to detonate it to deal X damage in an area. And then the straight is two-headed. Gall is permanently attached to you, going where you go. And then, as always, he has 2 heroics. Hammer of Twilight, cooldown of 15 seconds. Passively increases basic attack damage by 25%. Activate to swing the hammer to deal 156 damage, push enemies away, and stun for 0.75 seconds. And then Upheaval, it's a 60-second cooldown. After 1 second, pull enemies towards your direction, slowing them by 25% for 3 seconds and dealing X damage. So let's go ahead and take a look at his build. And we're going to go off of this, build that I found by Nelast, or whatever the name is, off of Heroes Nexus, and it is a dual build, so, what was I gonna say? It's a dual build, so they have one for Cho and one for Gall, and true to the name, where, when you play Cho'Gall, the name of the heroes is combined, so it comes up with an interesting combination of the names. So they build this build, build, B-I-L-L-E-D, As for Cho, it's prepare for trouble, and Gall's is but make it double. For Cho's build, level 1, you have Surging Dash, increases Surging Fist range by 25%. Blazing Bulwark, consuming blaze grants you 1 stack of block when you hit an enemy hero, up to 10. Block reduces damage taken from the enemy basic attacks, by 50%. And Fuel for a Flame. Gathering a regeneration globe increases your next consuming blaze heal by 50%. For this build, they say to go with Blazing Bulwark. At level 4, you have Rune Gauntlet. Rune Bomb increases your next basic attack by 75%. Rollback. Rune Bomb now returns to you, damaging enemies in its path. And Seared Flesh. Basic attacks against targets inflicted by consuming blaze deal 25% more damage. For this build, they say to go with Rune Gauntlet. At level 7, you have Power Surge. Reduces the initial delay of Surging Fist by 50%. And is 100% wider. Fire Eater. Basic attacks against targets inflicted with consuming blaze heal you for 50% of the damage dealt. And Frenzied Fist. If Surging Fist hits an enemy hero, it increases the attack speed of your next 2 basic attacks by 50%. But for this build, they say to go with Fire Eater. At level 10, they say to go with Hammer of Twilight. Level 13, we have Runic Feedback. Gall's Runic Blast reduces your Rune Bomb cooldown by 1 second per enemy hit. I Am Hurrying increases the duration of Gall's Hurry Up Oath by 1 second, and it no longer fades over time. And then Molten Block. It's a 60-second cooldown. It is an activate, so it would take up the 1 spot. Activate to place yourself in stasis and gain invulnerability for 3 seconds, damaging nearby enemies for X damage per second. And for this build, that's one they say to go with. At level 16, you have Twilight Veil. Consuming blaze reduces damage taken from abilities by 50% for 2 seconds per enemy hero hit. Surge of Stamina. Using Surging Fist grants resistant, reducing all damage taken by 25% for 4 seconds. And Crippling Blow. Enemies hit by Surging Fist are slowed by 90% for 1.25 seconds. For this build, it says go with Twilight Veil. And last but not least, level 20, you have Cthulhu's Gift. Your basic attack becomes ranged and slows targets by 20% for 2 seconds, which you will get if you took Hammer of Twilight. If you took Upheaval, you have Favor of the Old Gods. Upheaval grants you resistant, reducing your damage taken by 50% for 5 seconds. And then the Will of Gall. Gall can activate Will of Gall to make you unstoppable for 2 seconds. But for this build, it says to go with Cthulhu's Gift. Basically, so you can do damage from far away. Now that we've taken a look at Cho, let's take a look at his forever side-by-side Gall. So, Gall's abilities. He has Shadow Flame. It's a 3-second cooldown, deal X damage to enemies in the area. Dread Orb is a 6-second cooldown. Throw a bomb that will bounce 3 times, dealing X damage to enemies. Runic Blast, detonate Cho's Rune Bomb, dealing 274 damage around it. 2-headed is the trait. Permanently attached to Cho, going where he goes, you're immune to stun and silence effects. And then it's 2 heroics. Shadow Bolt Volley, cooldown 60 seconds, unleash 20 Shadow Bolts over 4 seconds, each dealing X damage to the first target hit. The bolts fire towards your mouse. And then Twisting Nether, it's a 100-second cooldown. After 1 second, nearby enemies are slowed by 40% while you channel up to 5 seconds. Activate to deal X damage. Let's take a look at this build, but make it double. Level 1, we have Shadow Flare, increases Shadow Flame's whip by 50%. Spurred Onward, every time you damage a hero with an ability, reduce the cooldown of Hurry Up Oath by 2 seconds. And then this first activate, Eye of Kilrog, it's a 45-second cooldown. Place an eye, granting vision to a large area around it for 45 seconds. The eye can be killed by enemies with 2 basic attacks. For this build, it says to go with Shadow Flare. At level 4, you have Bombs Away. Increases Cho's rune bomb damage by 20%. Siphoning Runes, Runic Blast heals for 20% of the damage dealt against heroes. And then Double Back. Dread Orb's third bounce instead bounces backwards. But for this build, it says go with Siphoning Runes. Level 7, you have Edge of Madness. Increases Shadow Flame damage by 20% against nearby targets. This bonus is gradually reduced the further away the target is. Double Trouble. Shadow Flame does 40% bonus damage to enemies afflicted with Consuming Blaze. And then Dark Descent. Increases Runic Blast damage by 5% every time you get a hero takedown, up to 20%. These bonuses are not lost upon dying. So there is that, and that's what they say to go with this build. At level 10, it says to go with Shadow Bolt of Volley. Level 13, you have Rising Dread. Dread Orb does 25% more damage on the second bounce and 75% more damage to the third bounce. Speed of Twilight. When Dread Orb hits an enemy hero, gain 30% movement speed for 2 seconds. And then Dread Shield. When Dread Orb hits an enemy hero, gain a shield absorbing X damage for 5 seconds. That's the one they say to go with this build. At level 16, you have Twilight Nova. After the first bounce, 2 extra bombs bounce to the sides of it, sides once. Giant Scorcher. Shadow Flame also does 3% of a hero's maximum health. And then Shove. Nudge Cho a short distance. So, it's a 50-second cooldown and active, so you have to press, if you stuck with this, I think, if you took Kilrog, this would be your 2. Nudge Cho a small distance in the direction you choose. But for this build, it says to go with Giant Scorcher. And then last but not least, you have your level 20 Shadow Fury. Shadow Bolt Volley hits all enemies in its path. The Nether Calls increases Twisting Nether slow by 10% and damage by 10% for every second channeled. And then Psychotic Break. Upon dying, you can continue to use abilities for 10 seconds. That is the one that they recommend to go with. If you decided to go Shadow Fury, then, if you wanted to continue that, there you have it. So there you have it, guys. That is the newest heroes, Cho and Gall, and a build for each of those. Now, we're not going to have a video because, well, I'd have to partner with somebody, and I can never seem to find somebody to partner with. And that is the uniqueness about Cho'Gall. In order to get Cho'Gall, you have to play with somebody who has him. If you do not play along somebody who has him, you do not get it. But if you play 2 games, just 2 games with somebody who has Cho'Gall, as either Cho or Gall, then you get Cho'Gall. That is all for this Heroes Tuesday Hero Update. I am EctoMaster, and I will see you guys in the next round.